Bienvenidos and welcome to the Familia FFB podcast. This is Jorge Martin, Familia. We just finished Thursday night football, so we're starting up and really focusing on Sunday, Monday football, Monday night games. It's gonna be great. Week 11, Familia. Week 11 is here. Estamos aquí, and we just finished a kind of more brutal game than I think any of us expected it to be. The Ravens win 34-20 over the Bengals, but there's big concerns that are coming on. Nothing bigger than Joe Burrow. It looks like his wrist suffered an injury. I think we all saw what happened when he tried to throw a ball, and it was just like you saw him just wincing in pain, and it was not fun. No bueno, familia. No bueno for him. Hoping it's not anything serious, because the NFL is better when our star quarterbacks are in there, and he is definitely one of the stars. He was starting to play so well too. I mean, coming off of multiple 300-yard games, even last week in the loss to the Texans, he was over 300, had a good game. So, but yeah. Something that we're going to keep an eye on. Also, make sure you're checking out the Injury Prone podcast that I do with Dr. Edwin Porras that we do every Friday afternoon. We do an update, so there will be some information on there. Hopefully, depending on what comes out from the teams at that point. I know Edwin is not always very confident in what what kind of information comes from the Bengals, but Vamos a ver. And also Mark Andrews. It looks like he suffered some sort of leg injury, and it came out of the game. He was ruled out very quickly. So something we're going to follow as well. Also going to keep an eye on Lamar Jackson, because it looked like he was, a couple of times he came up where he was limping, and it looks like he got he definitely got some treatment, went into the blue tent for a little bit, played the whole game. He still ran a little bit. So we got a kind of a glimpse of him. I mean, we still got to see the full Lamar Jackson. Now, the important thing that we saw was what they look like primarily without Mark Andrews. And Odell Beckham Jr. was very involved today. I mean, he ended up, he was over 116 yards, got 7 targets, led the team with 7 targets. Zay Flowers had 4. He would have had a 67, 68-yard touchdown there that was called back on a really, ticky-tack call, which, they even on the broadcast, they were saying that it wasn't, that it likely wasn't a TD. So Zay Flowers was definitely, could have been a bigger day. Rashad Bateman got a touchdown, only 10 yards, but again, getting that involvement. So it looks like Lamar is going to spread it around if Mark Andrews misses time. Now, we also got to look at the backfield a little bit. Gus Edwards got 12 carries, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns. He is the threat inside the red zone, especially inside the 5-yard line. He's the guy. Jackson ran 9 times for 54 yards. Keaton Mitchell, he only got 33 yards, but he did get 8 carries. Justice Hill only got 1 carry in the entire game. So it looks like if you've got Justice Hill on your team, and you need a roster spot, I think he's a drop right now. I think that backfield is Gus Edwards and Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell between the 20-yard lines, and Gus Edwards getting it down close. And I don't think there's anything else. I don't know if there's a tight end to really look at. I know Isaiah likely got a couple of targets in there, but it didn't hit home. Vamos a ver. He did have some games last year, but that was with Tyler Huntley. So we're going to see what happens there. Over on the Bengals side, kind of a mixed bag. I mean, you don't really know, because you got half the game that was that was without Joe Burrow. Jake Browning still, he threw a touchdown to Jamar Chase. That's good. If Joe Burrow is going to miss some time, just look for Chase. Chase definitely gets downgraded, but he is still going to remain the primary target. This is going to be kind of like an Aiden O'Connell, Devontae Adams kind of situation, where he's going to be, where he's still very much going to be involved. He's not going to get the pristine passing that he's going to get from a Joe Burrow. So, something. But again, if Jamar Chase is getting 10 targets, even if it's from, your Uncle Joe, you not Primo Joe Burrow, but yeah, 50-year-old Uncle Joe, you're still giving Jamar Chase. You're still looking at Jamar Chase and putting him in your lineup. Other guys, again, there was no T. Higgins today, so Tyler Boyd, 6 targets, 3 catches, 22 yards. You got Trent Irwin, 5 targets, 3 catches, 36 yards. Not really factors, really. I mean, if Jake Browning is going to be your quarterback, for any particular period of time, you're only playing Jamar Chase and nobody else in this lineup. So, it's something. So we're going to be keeping an eye on. We're going to keep an eye on Mark Andrews. Going to keep a very close eye on Joe Burrow, also Lamar Jackson, to see if there's any news that comes out of this tomorrow. So make sure you're checking out at FB Injury Doc for Edwin's Twitter feed. I'll be tweeting too as well. There may be I may be putting out some content with Yahoo Fantasy, so we'll see on that one. So again, also make sure you're giving us a like and subscribe on YouTube, Familia. Make sure you're getting in there. All right. Now let's get into some of the games for Sunday, and I Monday Night Football game. We'll get there. But yes, also, so we're going to start off with the Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. The Lions they're a good team. They're just a damn good team. 7-2 right now. They've if the Philadelphia Eagles stumble, the Lions have a legitimate chance to overtake them for the NFC for the top seed in the NFC, which would be very big because dome teams in January do not travel well. So if they have to have everybody come into Detroit, that I like their chances. I mean, they may even be Super Bowl contenders that way if they have home field advantage all the way through the playoffs. So you've got the Lions right there. But first we're going to start with the Chicago Bears, and the big question mark is Justin Fields healthy? Is he healthy? Is he going to be coming back? And the big thing is with DJ Moore. DJ Moore was the wide receiver 3 weeks 1-6. Obviously, he had a huge game in there, but again, wide receiver 3 in that period of time. From week 7 to 10 with Tyler Bagent 0, he was a wide receiver 39. So, I mean, the targets are different. I mean, he's going to be taking different shots. Just really, you want Justin Fields, not just because of DJ Moore. You want the threat out of the threat in the running game. So you definitely want to look at him right there. So, but another guy you want to target though is Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet is going against the number 7 best, the 7th best matchup against tight ends. The Lions are the 7th best, so you want to make sure you're getting those guys. You're getting him in your lineup. Maybe he's a DFS play. He's going to be kind of on the cheap side. Where I'm going to be fading a little bit is the backfield, and there's 2 reasons there. Number one, the Detroit Lions are number 2 in yards per game allowed to the running back position. They're only allowing 60.4 yards per game to the running backs. So Deontay Foreman has looked great of late, but Khalil Herbert looks like he's lurking there. Like it looks like he might be returning to the lineup. And if he does that, it's a timeshare against the number 2 defense against running backs. Familia, I can't recommend this backfield at all. I definitely want to. If you're going to get anywhere with against the Lions, it's through the air. So get DJ Moore in your lineup. Maybe Justin Fields. If you drafted him highly, if he's in there, unless you picked up CJ Stroud, who we're going to talk about in a little bit. Unless you got CJ Stroud later, you're likely playing. You likely have been waiting to play Justin Fields. So you want to get that threat in your lineup. Over on the Detroit side, you're starting everybody. Jared Goff is he's thrown 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in 4 games, 4 home games. He's great at home. I mean, last year I remember he was on a pace for 43 touchdowns. If he would have played it over 17 home games. Obviously, you don't play that, but you know what? That tells you the kind of production that you're getting. I remember Scott Barrett of Fantasy Points, would call Ford Field Coors Field for the NFL. So And the other thing to keep in mind, Jared Goff is going to be someone that's going to be staying in your lineups all the way. He's not coming out of your lineups anytime soon. He's only got one game outdoors from through week 17, which is the championship week. So you want to make sure you're getting Goff in you've got Goff in your lineup. And if you got Goff in your lineup, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's coming off a game with eight touchdown. I mean, 8 receptions, 156 yards, and a touchdown against the Rams. 6 out of the last 7 games, he's got over 100 yards. Familia, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, he's. I mean, honestly, rest of season, I would put him up there with Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown, and CeeDee Lamb because of the game environments that he's going to be playing in. He's going to be playing indoors and where Jared Goff excels. So you want to, if you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, get him in there. Play him in DFS. You love him there. So, and the one thing to keep in mind though, the Bears are pretty good against running backs. Okay, so they're only allowing 59.3 rushing yards to the running back position. So it's one of the toughest run defense that they have. Kind of a surprise, and that they've kind of snuck up on us because they were really bad against the run last year. You could pass on them a little bit, so I'm expecting Goff to have a big game. But you know what? You're starting Jahmyr Gibbs. You're starting David Montgomery because both of them have the possibility for being top 10 running backs. I like Gibbs more as a possibility to be to continue to contribute. By the way, in his last 3 games, Jahmyr Gibbs, running back 3, running back 2, running back 1. There's no higher where he could go, Familia. No, I must. So when you look at Jahmyr Gibbs, you definitely you're starting him. The great thing about him, he has the threat out of the backfield as a receiver. So that's where he could really make his hay this weekend. So get him in there. Another thing to keep in mind, the Bears are number 13 against the tight end, giving up almost 50 yards. So you're starting Sam Laporta. There was that big 4th down play in the last game. You want to make sure that get him in there. Get him in there. I mean, you're starting him anyway, but you know what? You start him with con confianza, right? Con confianza. So this game, I'm looking at it 7.5 points. Honestly, unless Justin Fields goes off, I could see the Lions run him out the door. So I mean, this could be like a 31-10 kind of game. So I can see this one unless the Lions kind of punch back with DJ Moore and Justin Fields and Cole Kmet. Yeah, I mean it's going to be hard to hit that 48 over under, but I do see the Lions. I do see the Lions covering 7.5. It's tough with the hook at 7.5, but you know what? I'm feeling pretty confident. I think the Lions win by at least 10 points. So vamos a ver. All right. So next game, Las Vegas Raiders at Miami Dolphins. Miami is a 13.5 point favorite. Okay, Familia, that one's that's a big one. 42 point over under. So not a big number there. Wait a second. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. 46.5 point over under. So actually I gotta update that on there. So this one. When it comes to the Raiders, there's only 2 guys I'm thinking about. Okay, Familia? It's Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams. Going to keep that one quick. I don't think you're starting Michael Mayer yet. I don't think you're starting. You're definitely not starting Aiden O'Connell. I think unless you're in a deep league, you're sitting down Jacoby Myers. I've got Jacoby Myers in a 14-team league, a Pros with Joe's league. So, I look at that one. I like Myers a lot, but you know what? It's Devontae. Starting off with Josh, but we're going to start off first with Josh Jacobs, Familia. And Josh Jacobs has 53 carries in the last 2 games. Now the Miami Dolphins are giving up 89 yards exactly to the running back position. So they're number 20 against the running back. So I'm looking at this one there that you want to make sure that Jacobs is in your lineup. And there could be definitely some carries for him. The one thing that is going to be tough is if the Dolphins run away with this game, which is very possible. It is very possible that they could run away and hide in this game, and so that could take Josh Jacobs out of the lineup. So remember that if you're putting him in a DFS lineup, I still think that they're going to use him. I think they're going to use both of them, and plus the good thing about Jacobs, they do use him out of the backfield as a receiver. So, and speaking of receiver, Davante Adams. He got 13 targets last week. Okay, Familia, he's going to get fed. Okay, Aiden O'Connell has an MO, and that's to feed Davante Adams. Expect a lot of that because they're going to be trying to keep up with the Dolphins. Okay, the Dolphins are going to the Dolphins could blow this game out, but you know what? That just means it's going to be garbage time for Davante Adams. So the Dolphins giving up 156.1 receiving yards to the wide receiver position. They're the 12th best matchup for that. So just expect a lot there. Expect a lot from Davante Adams in this one. So, kind of a quick one on that one because on the Miami side, on the Raiders side, let's go over to the Miami side. You're starting Tua. Tua coming off a bye, he's going to be fresh. Now, the interesting thing about the Raiders, they are only allowing 213.2 passing yards to quarterbacks. So that's number 24 in the league. Okay, they did hold Justin Herbert to 167 yards and a touchdown in week 4, but Zach Wilson stuck them for 263 yards last week. So, I'm going with the recency. I think Tua, you're looking at 300 plus yards, 2 to 3 touchdowns, maybe even more. This could be a big game. This could be, the Raiders are 5-5. They could run this one. I think Miami could run this one because they're at home and they're a different team at home. People have been giving them a big time saying that they're not good against good teams. Now, they haven't had the good teams come to Miami yet. Okay, they did blow out the Broncos, which kind of skews all scoring, but the Broncos have righted the ship a little bit more. Okay, they're a different team than they were then, but I want to see what Buffalo looks like when they go to Miami. I want to see what the Jets look like when they go to Miami. Okay, and what those defensives look like. And I think it would have been a different game if Philadelphia would have gone to Miami. So and the thing about Miami, Familia, they're home a lot the rest of the season. Okay, they are home a lot. So there's going to be some good, there's going to be some really good games for them, to come through, some good opportunities for them to break out and have themselves some games. So Tua, you're starting Tyreek Hill, who's averaging 119.6 yards per game receiving, over 1,000. He's got 1,076 yards. Jalen Waddle is kind of interesting. He's at 7,600 in DraftKings. So he could be interesting. Tyreek Hill is I believe he's at 9,500. I didn't write that down, but I think Jalen Waddle could be a bargain. But you know what? Honestly, if you can spend up and get the money, spend the money on Tyreek Hill, I would actually look and see if there's any way of getting, Tua, Hill, and Davante in my lineup to get a game stack going that way. So, and then possibly another player to get in there, Devon Achane. Yeah, Edwin and I were talking about, making sure that we're calling him a chain instead of a Chan. Familia, he's expected to be back. Okay, now Dr. Edwin Porras, he pointed out he's talked about this being a very similar injury to what Nick Chubb had a few years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. He sat out 4 games, came back. He had 19 carries for 126 yards and a touchdown in his first game. So he basically had his same. The guy's a metronome when he's healthy. By the way, get healthy soon, mi amigo. Get healthy soon. So if Devon Chan is in, you're starting him, Familia. Starting him con confianza. Okay, you want even if he gets 10 carries, you want those 10 carries. This is a guy who's averaging 12.1 yards per carry on the season. Okay. He's still the RB24, even though he's only played 3 full games, and it's week 10 right now. I mean, we just finished week 10. That tells you what kind of special kind of Roy Hobbs type of production that we're getting out of this guy. So you've got him in your lineup. Raheem Mostert, he's a little bit of a question mark. He is the RB2 with 605 yards rushing, 151 yards receiving. I think he's going to get. I think he's going to get some. His touches. I think they're going to eat into his touches a little bit. Okay, Devon Achon is going to do that, but I think that I think what's going to happen. The Dolphins are going to need to kind of reestablish the running game to kind of get, because they really got. That's where they really established themselves early on, where they were just absolutely dominating. Remember, Achon had over 200 yards against the Broncos, and Raheem Mostert had well over 100 himself. So that you want to make sure that you're getting your running backs, because remember, Mike McDaniel is a running back coordinator. So when it comes to the point spread on this one, 13 and a half points. That's a lot of points. But you know what? I think the Dolphins are going to win by 21 in this one. Okay, I think they're going to win big. I think they are going to win big. This is going to be, this could be like a 35-14 game. Okay, it's a big one. It's a big one. So they're going to cover, and if it's 35-14. That means they cover that means they cover the over. So this is going to be one of the few games that's played in nice weather. It's not going to be ugly. It's not going to be horrible, but you know what? It's expected to be. What are we looking at for that game? We got this open right now, Familia. Dame un momentito. Looking at the wrong week. Porque I was like, why couldn't I find Miami? But estaba buscando Miami. All right, we got 79 degrees and clear. So get all these guys in your lineup, familia. All of them, todos. Okay. Now, Arizona 2-8 at Houston 5-4. Now, this is a much anticipated bad game. Okay, familia. This is very anticipated. You're looking at this one where Arizona's got a new breath of life. Okay, Kyler Murray is all of a sudden making a difference. Okay, he came in last week. He got 249 yards. Did not throw a touchdown. Threw an interception. Added 33 rushing yards on 6 carries for 1 yard. He hit the highest speed that he has in 2 years. He looked like himself. I think giving him that extra, usually Dr. Porras, he points out that it's usually about 9 months that quarterbacks are coming back from this kind of knee surgery. Well, you know what? They gave him the extra month, so maybe he's a little stronger and he's a little more confident in his legs. You're starting Kyler Murray, and remember, he's got that deep ball, okay? He did not connect with Marquise Brown a lot. 4 targets, 1 catch, 28 yards, but you know what? This is coming because he ran 35 routes, which is number 1 on the team, so you want to make sure you're getting him in there. You've got Michael Wilson, who's another possibility, but also you want to make sure you got Trey McBride in your lineup, okay? That McBride kid, 9 targets, 8 receptions, 131 yards. He was the tight end 3 on the week, even without scoring a touchdown. Trey McBride, every week starter. Okay. I'm not saying he's going to be on the waiver wire, because there's no way he's on the waiver wire in your league. If you are, you got to start playing with better people. Okay. Last player to talk about on the Cardinals, James Conner. He got 39 snaps last week. He got 16 rush attempts, only 3 rush attempts for running backs on the remainder of the team. Okay, he's back to being a bell cow. He's a lead caballo. Okay, if you've got him, just put him in your lineup. Maybe he gets hurt down the road. Okay, but because he's got an extensive injury history. But while he is healthy, he is in your lineup. Okay, familia, get him in there. You got the I'm looking real quick. The Houston Texans. I didn't have that written down. I'm so sorry. They are allowing 73.8 rushing yards to the running backs with an additional 37. They are number 14, the number 14th ranked defense against running backs. So they're kind of in the middle. So for running, so you're still starting James Conner on this one, okay? And against now they're getting Derek Stingley Jr. back healthy. Looks like their secondary is getting back healthy. Uh, I think they're the best, one of the best team stories, if not the best team story. I mean, there are others to talk about, but they've been really good. They're number 28 against wide receivers on the season, giving up 162 receiving yards on the season per game. So, uh, so I think we're looking at a shootout in this game. They've got a high 48 and a half point over under. Houston is playing big games. They're obviously with CJ Stroud, they're getting points, and they're also giving up some points. So I wouldn't be surprised if this game went over. And if it goes over, CJ Stroud, he's the truth, familia. He is the truth. Él es la verdad. He's the QB. He was the QB9 last week after being the QB1 in week 9. Overall, he's the QB9 with 4 300-yard games. He's got 5 games of at least 20 fantasy points. So, and the great thing, he's about to go on a run, familia. Okay, I mean, he's on a run. He's going to continue a run because the next 3 games, starting with this one, he is home. Okay, and when he's home, he's fantastic. Okay, so and you got him, and you're starting him. Nico Collins, shout out to Primo Nico. Nico Collins, he's limited in practice, 2 limited practices in a row. This is as of Thursday night. So you know what? If he's in there, get him in your lineup. He had that 168-yard blow up. That's his last 100-yard game. But you know what? This is a great environment because you got the these Cardinals, one of the worst defenses when it comes to defending the wide receiver right now. I mean, they are. Let's see, where are they right now? They've been very forgiving to the wide receiver position. ¿Dónde están? Number 16. So they're giving up 160. How many passing yards? Let me see how many passing yards they're giving up per game. They are averaging 228.7 passing yards per game. So they've given up some big ones. They've definitely been giving up some big games. Looking around at that one, some of the quarterbacks who've done well against them. Joe Burrow, 317 and 3 touchdowns. Brock Purdy, 283. Daniel Jones had his biggest game, 321 yards against them. So they're definitely beatable right now. They're definitely beatable. So, gosh, I mean, I think this could be another big game for CJ Stroud, another 300-yard game plus. He's got, he'll have Nico Collins, but you know what? He's got Noah Brown, who has 325 receiving yards in the last 2 games. You've got Tank Dell, who's got 170 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games. With Nico, I mean, gosh, the weapons are there. And then now you may have a running game, okay? Because Devin Singletary, 30 carries for 150 yards and a touchdown last week. He was the RB3, okay? So, I mean, there's definitely some possibilities for him. Con permiso on that one. So Devin Singletary, you're starting him. You're definitely starting him because the Cardinals, yeah, they're beatable. When it comes to this is a 4.5 point spread. Okay, now this I kind of wonder if the Cardinals are going to make it a little bit closer than it looks. If they could make this a field goal game. I kind of wonder. I think actually it's not. I think Houston wins a game like 28-21, and it'll be a well played game. But yes, I think you're going to see Houston cover and barely and win at home. Okay. All right. Last 2 games that we're going to be talking about, that we're going to be breaking down. Sunday night football. Okay, Minnesota 6-4 at Denver 4-5. Now The Broncos are 2.5-point favorites, 42.5-point over under. Okay. The weather does not look like it's going to be an issue. It looks like it's going to be in the 50s that week, at night. Let me see. Possible rain. It looks like it's about 50 degrees at game time, 13 mile an hour winds. So really, it's not going to be much of a factor. It's going to be an interesting game because Minnesota is going outdoors, kind of going on a high. We know that dome teams don't usually do well in the elements, but it's not going to be bad. It's not. It's gonna be about 50 degrees, so it's gonna be fine. You got Joshua Dobbs, the Pastronaut, one of the best stories of the year. He's got 5 20 plus point fantasy games. So are you starting him? You know what? I think you definitely want to think about it. Okay, Denver has been playing much better on defense, but you know what? Again, he's he's not going to be he's not going to be. I mean, he's on one of the great runs. It's it's kind of special. I would be fine in a super flex league. I'm definitely starting Joshua Dobbs. In fact, I am starting him in a super flex league. But when it comes down to it, gosh, I mean, how can you sit him? Okay. It's just one of the great stories in the NFL. I mean, the guy, I think he's been on. Gosh, I don't even know how many teams he's been on. It's amazing. He changes his jersey almost as many times as Annie Agar does in her weekly meetings. So shout out to Annie, you are absolutely hilarious. But yeah, when it comes down to it, the Denver, they are number 8. The 8th best matchup against the quarterbacks. So they're giving up 256.9 passing yards per game. So they've tightened it up a little bit lately. They've punched Patrick Mahomes in the nose. They also gave Josh Allen fits last week, and that game was in Kansas City. In Buffalo. Held him to 177 yards. So you know what? It's going to be tough for Joshua Dobbs, but you know what? I think this game's going to be this game's going to be sneaky shootout. Okay, because the Minnesota has gotten beaten up a little bit. They're a very blitz heavy team, and if Russell Wilson can get through, they're going to get through and get some touchdowns. It's a 42.5-point over under. So you're starting Dobbs. Definitely big alert. If Justin Jefferson is still limited in practice, he has said that he's going to make the call on whether he starts. So the big question mark, keep an eye on that. Obviously, if you're starting him, if he starts, you're starting him. Okay. Don't even think about it. Don't get cute or anything like that. Just, you've got Justin Jefferson, you use the 101 or you traded for him and you get the first opportunity, you're going to play him. Okay. TJ Hawkinson, though, is potentially a smash play this week. Okay, he's coming off a tight end 1 week, and he's going up against the worst defense against the tight end on the season. So you're getting him in there. Jordan Addison. Okay, he's going against the number 20 defense in Denver that's giving up 144.7 receiving yards to the wide receivers. So you're getting him in there. Okay, over on the Denver side. Russell Wilson has 6 games of two plus touchdowns. Okay. So you know what? Don't be crazy. Okay. You're definitely starting with super flex leagues with so many quarterback injuries out there. He's not a bad play. He's home, and the Minnesota defense, they're good. They're not great. Okay. I'm looking up their number right now. They are, against the quarterbacks, they are, let's see, number 17. So they're kind of in the middle, 239.8 passing yards allowed to the quarterback position. So of late, Taylor Heineke got them for 268 yards and a touchdown in week 9. Week 7, Brock Purdy got them for 272 and a touchdown. So you know what? Quarterbacks have been able to get home against them. So maybe Russ has himself another game. Again, it's 6 games out of 9 where he's thrown 2+ touchdowns. If you got Javonte Williams, you're starting him, Familia. Okay. The Vikings, They're much better against the run than they are against the pass. Okay, so one of the better teams right now. Let's see where they are right now. Number 27 against they're basically the sixth best run defense out there, sixth best against running backs, allowing only 75.1 rushing yards to the running back position on the season. It's a good matchup, but you know what? It's a tough matchup for Javonte Williams, but I think he's going to get home just on volume alone. Again, it's 48 carries in the last 2 games. Cortland Sutton, you know what? It's not pretty, but though that touchdown that he had last week, that was so pretty. Muy bonito, muy bonito. He's got 4 straight games where he's got a touchdown. Okay. And he's got 7 touchdowns overall. He's the wide receiver 23 on the season. You know what? I've sat him a lot on one particular league. I'm not going to be sitting him much long, any longer. You got to play him. Russ is playing better. Cortland Sutton is obviously one of his targets, big target. Jerry Jeudy hasn't gotten a lot of work, but he is running routes. Him and Marvin Mims both ran 27 routes in the last game, with Cortland Sutton leading the way. You know what? I think Jerry Jeudy is a tough start because he has not delivered of late. But you know what? At home, in a game that's going to be scoring some points, let's do it. Let's do it. So let's look at this game from a point spread standpoint. 2.5 points favoring the Broncos. I'm going to go the Minnesota side. I think they're going to cover. I think it could be I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a field goal game. They could win. They could win on a backdoor cover. Okay. By the way, Minnesota, keep an eye on their running back situation. Alexander Madison has not been ruled out, so people are picking up Ty Chandler, thinking like that he's starting. You know what? Don't, and just until he's ruled out, until you hear definitely, I'm expecting him to sit, but the fact that he's limited in practice right now has me thinking it's at least 50-50 chance that he plays. Also, keep an eye on Kenny Nwangwu. Okay, he's very fast, very fast. He ran a 4.29 at his pro day. So something to keep an eye on there. Okay, so I said they're gonna that Minnesota is going to cover, and the 42.5 point. I think they're going to go over on that one. Okay, I think they're going to score some points. Okay, this could be 24-21 game kind of thing. All right, el último. Going to Kansas City. Here we come. We got this one's going to be good. We got a Super Bowl rematch. We got the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 2.5 point favorites at home, 45.5 point over under. Is Taylor Swift going to be at the game? Okay, because we know that Travis Kelce plays much better when she's there. Hey, he went to Argentina to watch her perform and have her say, Karma is the guy on the Chiefs. Hey, nothing better than that. My daughters went ballistic on that one. That was fantastic. But yes, so we don't know if Taylor's going to be in the house, but it'll be great. We know that there's going to be some of the best, 2 great quarterbacks, great great pass catchers in this one. On the Philadelphia side, the very interesting thing is there's no Dallas Goedert. He's going to be missing some time with broken bone in his arm. Looking at Jalen Hurts. Is his knee healthy? Is he going to be running as much as he was? He's the QB1 in fantasy points per game with 23.7 fantasy points per game. He's got 7 rush TDs. He's thrown for 2,347 yards, 9th in the league. Okay, so to me, I mean, he's a set it and forget it. You don't even think about that one. AJ Brown. He's just having a marvelous season. I actually have AJ Brown and Tyreek Hill on my Familia team. Go figure. I'm in first place on that one. So, which is Gracias Familia. Hopefully, I'm able to kind of close things out because I don't have a very good record in the playoffs in that one. So, Primos, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, the interesting one though for me is Devonta Smith. Okay. Because last year when Dallas Goedert he missed 5 games last year. In each one of those games, Devonta Smith had between 8 and 12 targets. Okay, so I think he's a smash play. I think he's definitely someone you want in your lineup. Okay, he had and one guy that we're kind of question mark on, DeAndre Swift. He had 74 total yards his last game. He does not have a 100-yard game since week 3. And Kansas City is one of the best one of the best defenses against running backs, allowing only 88 yards rushing to the running back on the season. They've been a fantastic defense against the run and the pass. So, but again, great offensive line. I think this is going to be strength against strength, strength against strength. Monday Night Football is just going to be absolutely fantastic. It's going to be awesome. So DeAndre Swift, you're starting him, but I think you're not got big expectations on him. Mi amigo, Chris Allen, mi amigo, much love. Much love. Much love. Very late for you. Está muy tarde. Pórtate bien, all right? Hope you're not, hope I'm keeping you company, or maybe I'm my voice will put you to kind of soothe you and put you to sleep. So ojalá. Much love, mi amigo. Mi amigo. Closing it out on the Kansas City side, okay? Over here, we got we got Philadelphia. They're number 4 against the quarterback, but number 32 against the running back. Okay, number 1 against wide receivers. Okay, and I mean there's the number 1 matchup. So when I say number four, they're the 4th best matchup, best wide receiver matchup. Number 9 against the tight end. They're the worst matchup against the running backs. Okay, so I actually have seen start-sit questions involving Patrick Mahomes or other quarterbacks. No, you know what? I don't think there's many quarterbacks that I would start over Patrick Mahomes. Definitely not. I think I saw Josh Dobbs or Patrick Mahomes. It's like you're not thinking about it. Okay, Philadelphia is going to score some points, and you know what? My homie he's going to be scoring some points. He's averaging 271.3 passing yards. He's the QB8 overall, QB5 with 19.9 fantasy points per game. So you know what? You're starting him again con confianza. You don't want him. Don't get cute. Don't get cute. Okay. You drafted him high for a reason. You're playing him. No, any question marks you have, there's going to be a lot of things answered in this one because of the fact that he's going up against a defense, number 1, that is playing into his strengths, and number 2, he's going to have to score some points. This is going to be, I mean, gosh, I mean, they went almost 70. What was the Super Bowl? It was close to 70 points last time. So you definitely score some, you definitely get him in there and score some points. You're starting Travis Kelce, okay? We put my daughter Rianne put together the put with the Kelce brothers on there, so I had a little fun with that one. So you're starting Travis Kelce again. The Philadelphia Eagles are the 9th best, the 9th best matchup for tight ends, so you get him in there. One guy to keep an eye on in this one, Rashee Rice. Okay, he ran 16 routes in the last game, 23 for Travis Kelce in that one. So maybe they're ramping him up, and we're after the bye. Get him in there. Okay, get Rashee Rice. The interesting part is Sky Moore only ran 10 routes the last game, so I don't know if you're starting him, even though there is temptation for this one. When it comes to this game, how am I picking it? I think that 2.5 points. I think this is going to be a field goal game. I think Kansas City wins, and I think this one goes way over. I think this is going to be kind of like a, 30-27 kind of game, 31-28. This is gonna go over 45.5 points. I'm going to take a quick look at the weather. Potential for rain. It says 37% chance of rain, 45 degrees. So we're not talking about snow and bad conditions. It's not too much wind, as mi amigo Chris Allen says. 25 mile an hour is when you want to worry. It's topping out at about 15 in this one, according to NFLweather.com. So that's not something that you worry about with Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. So get that one in there. Okay, familia, that's it right now. Keep an eye on my Twitter account. Okay. I'll be putting out some content in there, a little bit of predictions. I'll definitely definitely, send out a lot more information on there. So again, also keep an eye on the Injury Prone podcast. Okay, I'm gonna have a Friday update. A little personal news. November 17th is my birthday. Mi cumpleaños. Feliz cumpleaños to me. So you know what? Another trip around the sun. It's a time to kind of reflect and kind of be, kind of really be happy and proud of where I am. I love what I'm doing with Yahoo right now. I love how much stuff I'm doing in the fantasy space. Meeting great people like Chris Allen. Gosh, I mean, just being able to live this is fantastic. Everybody be healthy. I'm wearing this November beard. November beard. I didn't want to do Movember because I've worn a mustache before and it just doesn't work for me. No, doesn't work for me. So, but I'm wearing this for two reasons. For men, keep an eye on yourselves. Keep an eye on yourselves. Get, when my father, en paz descanse, 2015, 2016, he was dealing with some serious health issues, which ended up taking his life. One of the greatest bits of advice that he gave me was, cuídate, mijo, take care of yourself, get your checkups, okay? And that really stuck with me, and I wanted to honor him. I've made sure to take care of those things, and I tell people to take care of themselves, take care of their body, take care of their mind. Guys, it's really easy for us not to try and power through things but no, you know what? This is how you take care of yourself so that you can live a long and happy life. Okay, familia? All right. That's it. Make sure you're checking out our YouTube page. If you haven't, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Okay, por favor. You're going to find the Familia. If you want this on audio, Apple, Google, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, we're there for you. Okay. And again, you'll find my content at Yahoo Fantasy. You got my running back report, weekly debate with Scott Pianowski. We got the rookie report, and always can find out some different angle and bad beats. They're in there. Go to my Yahoo page if you haven't, and you're going to see everything lined up, all of my content in there. So, otra vez, muchas gracias for joining us. Muchas gracias. Buena suerte. If you got any questions, hit me up at Jorge Martin 17 on Twitter. Okay, send me a note. Muchas gracias. Buena suerte. Feliz cumpleaños to me. Another trip around the sun. And remember, todos somos familia. Salud. Y muchas gracias. Muchas gracias for joining us.